Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Behind the scenes at BravoCon, emotional reveals, cast reunions, and surprise cameos. BravoCon 2025 brought 3 days of high-energy panels, Bravo-lebrities, franchise teasers, surprise reunions, and live tapings throughout Las Vegas. While fans can now stream highlights including all 5 episodes of BravoCon Live with Andy Cohen and the Bravos on Peacock, there was even more happening backstage, between tapings, and off-camera at Planet Hollywood SPH Live. From unexpected cameos to emotional cast moments and playful fan interactions, these are the behind-the-scenes details Bravo fans didn't see. Between tapings of The Reading Room and The One Guys and Gals, Andy Cohen hosted an unscripted Q&A with the crowd, sharing personal tidbits and answering fan questions. When asked about his favorite Grateful Dead track, Cohen responded, "The music never stopped," and when pressed on whether he'd ever host New Year's Eve Live without Anderson Cooper, he admitted, "Not really, but if I had to choose someone, it'd be John Mayer." Cohen also revealed new context to a major BravoCon moment, presenting Vicki Gunvalson with an orange and confirming her role on The Real Housewives of Orange County Season 20. "She had no idea," Cohen said. "We were standing backstage holding hands, and we got so emotional. It was almost poetic." BravoCon has always been a 3-day hurricane of housewife gossip, shady reunions, fan hysteria, and surprise celebrity moments that get replayed endlessly online. But this year's event, bigger, louder, and more explosive than ever, held a behind-the-scenes emotional current that never quite made it to the main panels. When the cameras weren't rolling and the crowds weren't screaming, some of the most jaw-dropping and heartfelt moments unfolded backstage, where the Bravoverse's most iconic personalities faced each other without the protective buffer of television editing. From unexpected reconciliations to long-simmering feuds erupting in real time, here's the exclusive creative deep dive into everything that happened when the lights dimmed and the real drama took center stage. A morning of nerves and nostalgia. Before the doors even opened, the backstage hallways buzzed with an energy that felt like the first day of high school, if high school also had glam squads, publicists holding clipboards, and at least 4 people crying over eyelashes. Lisa Rinna, making her first BravoCon appearance since her controversial Rabe exit, arrived early, sunglasses on, coffee in hand, and nerves slightly visible despite her confident strut. Crew members whispered as she passed, wondering what kind of reception she'd get. Rinna paused near the dressing room corridor, running her fingers along the event poster as though she were touching a memory. "Feels weird being back," she murmured to a stylist nearby, "like I'm visiting my old house after the new owners redecorated." Down the hall, RHOP's Karen Huger was already holding court in her dressing area, greeting staff by name and offering advice about angles and lighting. "Remember, babies," she said with a flourish, "everyone has a good side, not everyone knows what it is." Even the tense staffers cracked a smile. That's the power of the Grand Dame. Meanwhile, Vanderpump Rules stars trickled in with an awkwardness that should have been bottled as a limited edition BravoCon scent. Lala kept to herself, Ariana avoided certain hallways entirely, and Tom Sandoval attempted small talk with anyone who would listen. The energy frostier than a Certini. An unexpected reunion that stole attention. The first major backstage shock came just before the Real Housewives mega panel. Producers weren't expecting Teresa Giudice and Caroline Manzo to cross paths. They had been scheduled to arrive 20 minutes apart to avoid tension. But BravoCon has a way of feeding chaos at the perfect moment. Teresa stepped out of hair and makeup just as Caroline was being ushered into the green room. Both women froze. Stylist brushes paused mid-air. Even a makeup artist's eyelash strip stood suspended in tweezers like it sensed danger. Caroline broke first. "Well," she said softly, "look who's here." Teresa swallowed, jaw tight, but her tone surprised everyone. "It's been a long time." What followed wasn't a fight, not even a hint of it. Instead, it was a strangely tender moment. They didn't hug, but their body language shifted, softening by degrees. Caroline mentioned seeing Gia's graduation photos. Teresa quietly thanked her. A single tear, very small, very quick, escaped Teresa, and she brushed it away immediately. "I'm not saying we're friends," Caroline said, "but time heals a lot." Teresa nodded. "Yeah, it does." Producers were stunned. Fans never saw it. But that brief exchange was the closest thing to a manzo-judici thaw that has happened in over a decade. The emotional confession no one expected. Mid-afternoon brought another powerful backstage moment, this time from someone nobody expected to get emotional. When the cast of Summer House wrapped their panel rehearsal, Carl Radke lingered in the wings long after the others left. A photographer, thinking this was just a brooding pose opportunity, lifted his camera but froze when Carl suddenly sat on the edge of the stage and lowered his head into his hands. A producer approached him carefully. "You okay?" Carl nodded, but his voice cracked. "Walking out there and seeing that crowd, it hits you. Everything I've gone through this year. I didn't think I'd be standing here." He wiped his eyes, then laughed at himself. "Great. Me crying before Kyle even gets his mullet brushed." He wasn't alone for long. Lindsay Hubbard, who had quietly stepped back after the rehearsal, approached him. The tension between them could have powered the entire convention center, but in that moment, everything softened. "You good?" she asked. Carl nodded again, more firmly this time. "Yeah. I will be." They didn't hug. They didn't argue. They simply existed together in a moment of unspoken history, raw, real, and profoundly human. The cameo that left everybody screaming. Another backstage highlight came when a completely unannounced guest slipped into the venue through a side entrance, Kris Jenner. The Kardashian matriarch had arrived to support longtime friend Lisa Vanderpump and had specifically requested not to appear on stage. But the moment she entered the green room hallway, Real Housewives scattered like confetti. Garcelle exclaimed, "We are not prepared for this level of cameo." Kris laughed, waving her hand. "I'm just here to see my girl Lisa. And maybe steal a housewife for Hulu, who knows?" Within minutes, several Bravolebs were pitching her ideas unironically. Someone 3 guesses who starts with S, ends with N double even asked if Kris could be his manager. She politely declined. Lisa Vanderpump swept in moments later, kissed Kris on both cheeks, and quipped, "If you steal even one of my cast members, darling, I'll replace all your white roses with pink ones." Kris grinned. "I'd expect nothing less." The two then toasted with sparkling water like the queens they are. Mystery tension in the hallway. Not all the backstage interactions were warm and fuzzy. One hallway moment nearly turned BravoCon into a full-scale diplomatic crisis. During a break before the Battle of the Cities crossover panel, Roni S. Bryn Whitfield accidentally exited through the wrong curtain and bumped into Raselk S. Monica Garcia. The air snapped. Bryn, ever playful, tried a light-hearted, "Oops. Wrong room unless this is the Chaos Corner." Monica folded her arms. "Sweetie, I am the Chaos Corner." A silence fell so thick you could have sliced it with a reunion card. Before things escalated, Whitney Rose stepped between them, commercial smile bright. "Ladies, let us save the drama for the stage, please." They both backed off barely. But fans could feel that tension radiating all weekend. A closing moment that defined the weekend. As the final after-party wound down, the outdoor BravoCon lounge glittered with dim lights, half-finished cocktails, and exhausted celebrities slowly deflating from the adrenaline. Andy Cohen stood at the center, laughing with crew members as he took off his mic. "We survived another year," he said, exhaling. Nearby, Kenya Moore, Dorrit Kemsley, Kyle Cook, and Heather Gay sat together, sharing stories, not as reality stars, but as people who understood the strange pressure cooker of their world. At one point, a staffer asked if they needed anything. Kenya smiled. "Just water. And maybe a time machine so we can sleep for 2 days." Dorrit sighed. 3. As the night wrapped up, a group photo was taken off stage, unposed, imperfect, Bravo-lebs leaning on each other, heels off, glam faded, laughter genuine. For a moment, the drama faded away, replaced by something Bravo fans rarely see: unity. A universe of feuds, friendships, betrayals, and redemptions collected in a single moment of human connection. BravoCon might be built on spectacle, but behind the scenes it's where the real story always lives.